Okay, I'm going to do the next two my math lab examples in one video because they both have you practice calculating a Huntington Hill number. And remember, I like to refer to that as the HH and then the pound sign, Huntington Hill number. And all you have to do is take whatever your population is and square it, and then multiply that times your current representation times the current representation plus 1. And so the Musicians Guild has 938 members. That's what's going to go right here. And they have 6 representatives. So you'll have a 6 here and a 6 there. So it's 938 squared over a 6 times a 6 plus 1. And of course, 6 plus 1 is 7, so this is 6 times 7, which is 42. So, you might do a little bit on your calculator, but all I have to do is take the 938 squared and divide it by 42. And that's going to give me 20,948.6666. It just keeps going. And this does say to round to the nearest tenth as needed. This 6 right here is the nearest tenth. The next number is a 6. So my final answer will be 20,948.7. And that's the Huntington Hill number for that. And then when you go to number 6, once again, calculate the Huntington Hill number for a state, and they give you, once again, the population is in millions, and then they say 7.4. 7.4 is 7,400,000. But the problem is if you try to take that big number and square it, your calculator is going to blow up. Actually, it's going to kick it into scientific notation, and we don't got time for that. So we're basically going to, like I did in that example with the stockholders, I knocked off all the zeros. They're just knocking off all these zeros here. Just use, and leave the decimal point there, just use 7.4. So the Huntington Hill number equals, take your population and square it, and then divide by the current representation. So here's our population. That is the 7.4. And then we were told that the number of representatives was 12. So you'll have a 12 here and a 12 there. So it's 7.4 squared times 12 times 12 plus 1. So that's all of 7.4 squared, and then 12 times 13. And I can just do all that in my calculator. And this one says, now this one's different. They changed the rounding directions on me. This one says round to the nearest thousandth as needed. Okay, so when I divide, I do all that math in my handy dandy calculator, and I round off to the nearest thousandth, I get no I don't, sorry. I get 0.351. And that's the Huntington Hill number that you'll use. And this is just calculating it. The way you use Huntington Hill numbers is comparing them to other Huntington Hill numbers and figuring out which one's the biggest, and then that's the one will get the extra seat. These numbers really don't mean anything by themselves. You have to compare them to other Huntington Hill numbers. So that is numbers 4 and 6.